Hello, hello. Welcome. Els here. And I am beyond excited to share this new offering with you. So this is something that I've been working on in the background for years, like literally years. And so it requires a drum roll to introduce to you the offering of Omega Cartography. Now, Omega Cartography, before we dive into the details, this work is for you. If you are looking to relocate and you're doubting between a few specific places, um, if you are really curious, you want to know where in the world you would be supported and feel supported to integrate or cultivate like a specific assignment. For example, hey, I'm looking to find love. Where can I go? Or what would be a really good place to start my business? Or hey, I'm really called to step into like my soul's growth edge. Like what would be places on the earth that would be really supportive for that? This is work is great for you if you want just like a general overview, if you want to get like a better understanding of what zones of the earth would support different aspects of your life, right? And this work is amazing if you are looking to relocate with your family and you are taking into account all members of your family and are looking for a place where all of you would thrive. So if any of these things are like pinging for you, let's continue. So, Omega Cartography, what is that? This is really like an intricate methodology to understand how your soul maps to the earth herself. This provides really like in-depth insights in your soul's unique relationship to the earth. Really answering the question of like, where on earth might you find challenges and where on earth would you flourish? Now, we all know that relocation is a huge investment. On average, the costs associated with relocation, depending on, of course, if you're moving by yourself or with your family, but the costs usually range between like $10,000 to $30,000. And this is just in visas, like home deposits, shipping costs, you name it. And that's not even taking into account like all the time and all the effort that can go into planning the trip, organizing movers, finding new schools for the kids, and dealing with immigration bureaucracy. Um, and with that, like relocation is statistically one of life's most stressful and expensive events. So let's make sure it's well worth it. And let's make sure that you end up vastly better because of it. Now, every person has a unique chemistry and relationship with each part of the planet. Some places on the earth feel like hand in glove, like they were made for you and you for them. You know, some places on the earth, everything goes your way so much that you actually feel like a Disney princess. And other places, no matter how apparently wonderful, and sometimes no matter how strongly your intuition led you there, because our intuition is really honed to, for our soul's growth. It's not necessarily honed to create the most comfort for us. And so sometimes what happens is when we really follow our intuition, we end up in places that are really challenging, but there's actually different ways, other ways available to us to integrate these life challenges and to integrate these life lessons. So other places can feel like no matter what we do, we just can't seem to make it work. Like they're plunging you into like a low grade, like worsening nightmare full of unexpected challenges. And nobody really, really wants that. So let's avoid these challenges. Let's avoid like big blunders. And let's get you to understand where, you can actually go and flourish. So every soul has an agreement with the earth upon which it incarnates, an agreement to grow and evolve together. And we are here, like I am here to really help you uncover the zones where you'll get the highest return on the investment of your time, of your energy, of your money, so that you can actually really finally create the life that you've always dreamed of. And Omega Cartography reveals the zones that will support your deepest goals and desires. You're probably curious, how do we do this? So Omega Cartography is really like an exquisite methodology that takes into account 7 different layers of information. This is also why it took so long for me to really like master it. And this is why it's been like bubbling in the background for such a long time. Maybe some of you have heard of astrocartography, which is a very valid and very like, useful methodology. Omega cartography is different in the sense that astrocartography takes into account 1 layer of information. Omega cartography takes into account 7 different layers. And it's all about like the synthesis of these 7 layers that present us with like the actual most benevolent places for us to go. So for our astro geeks in here, in Omega Cartography, we look at, first of all, the relationship of the Earth with the different constellations in our galaxy. Second 2 layers are our natal chart, both our tropical and our sidereal charts. We look at a person's draconic chart to get an understanding of what is happening on a soul level, and we take into account both the tropical and the sidereal points of that. We look at annual perfections, which is a beautiful Hellenistic astro methodology to understand which zones or houses light up in someone's life at a specific point in life. And we look at relevant planetary transits. So those are all the levels of information, and that all that information, it's being grounded in ceremony with the earth. So each consultation has its own ceremony with the earth, so that we can actually synthesize all this information, being tapped in with the living consciousness of the earth herself and the living consciousness of the client's charts, which will so much more easily reveal the next right step for this person or this family. And this is something that AI won't be able to do. So that's kind of like the nuts and bolts and the mechanics. But what does like a session actually look like? What does a consultation actually look like? So we will start by doing an intake and clarifying of your needs. Really like gathering all the necessary information that we need to make this consultation fit your needs perfectly. This will be done by doing an intake survey. Then we will do, I will do a synthesis, like a strategic consultation recording. So I will do like a synthesis of the information, and that I will put in a recording so you have, something to look back to, which is great. Then there is follow-up and questions and answers. Depending on the type of session you select, this will be either through email or an in-person live Zoom call to really like drill deeper and dive deeper into what wants to be revealed and what will be like your next right step. And in every case, there will be implementation and next steps. So we will offer suggestions on how to navigate the energies present in the locations that you're considering. And applying these will either, mitigate any negative effects and also bring out the best possible outcomes for you in a specific location. Yeah. In the case where we can help you get on track with your soul's mission or heal and transform what's between you and your next steps, we will make recommendations for that. And then, of course, the celebration, because clarity is indeed a big relief. So whether your clarity leads you to actually make a move or consider a move or book a holiday or a retreat, or it actually confirms you staying put in your present location and go in a different way. Or maybe, the outcome is for you to diversify and go wide. I'll be cheering for you. Know that you have my support and celebration for your particular highest destiny fulfillment. So that is what a consultation looks like. And you might be wondering, like, where does this come from? Just a little bit about the background of this wonderful, wonderful methodology. So Omega Cartography is part of a wider lineage and ecosystem. It is part of the Omega lineage and the Anointed Living Immersion, which is governed by Zoe Christina Solaris. And she has a Master of Divinity from Harvard. And she's had like 20,000 plus hours in supporting executives and high performance to really deliver on their gifts. And the body of work that she brings through, it's really a body of work that supports and navigates the fulfillment of our own individual highest destiny. And I'm Else. I have almost a decade in helping clients understand and really fully step into their highest destiny. I am a certified Omega mentor, and I've been in the Omega ecosystem for the last 5 years, which have been very transformational. And with that, I have a lot of experience and many years of honing my direct connection with the earth, with the stars and the constellation, so that I'm really equipped to tap into the gnosis of what wants to be revealed. I've traveled to 5 continents, relocated from Amsterdam to the United States, to Todos Santos, Mexico. And I'm a mom of 2, and I'm currently living in a place that supports my family's highest flourishing, with a dash of Pluto and Saturn, just to keep things interesting. So I'm very, very, very well versed in the impact and the profundity of this work. Does this sound like something that calls your soul? Read below and book your session. I'm really looking forward to embarking on this journey with you.